Well, what would you miss if you left the U.S.? Of course, obvious things like my 2 grown sons, obvious, family's important. But I came up with more of things that I wouldn't miss, if that makes sense. I wouldn't miss the mortgage payment, the taxes that go along with it, the maintenance that goes along with maintaining a house, the car payment, the maintenance with that, the insurance, the taxes. Don't wait for the day where I can just wake up when I want to wake up and not hearing that buzzer go off at 5 or 5:30. The other thing is, as you get older, my age, if some of you are younger watching this, you probably can't relate, but some of you older guys, 60 and above, as you get older, your circle shrinks. I remember when I was in college, man, I had friends everywhere. At least I thought I had friends. I guess there were more acquaintances. But you know, you had friends, you go do this with this group of friends and that with that group of friends, and there was something going on every night of the week, even if you were working. And as you got older and had a family, you know, your circle started to shrink. And then when your kids are grown and you're an empty nester, and in my case, you get divorced, your circles get smaller because you don't have those other families to interact with that have the same interests you have, or your kids are in the same activities, and those people go away. And then as you continue with your life, and me, I've moved around a lot, so that's probably part of my issue, but you know, your family starts to get smaller. Unfortunately, people start passing away. Friends start passing away, and it gets really down to a small group of people. And in my case, it's just my 2 sons, my daughter-in-law, and my other son has a fiance. But they're at a point in their lives where they're building their lives. They're accumulating things. Where I'm at the stage of my life, I've done all of that. Now I'm deconstructing my life. I'm trying to make it simpler. And in this case, you know, trying to deconstruct and declutter and get rid of things that I really don't need anymore. Because I do want to move to the Philippines. I'm excited about it. So like I said, I can't see staying here and keep working and grinding just so I can maintain a house and a car until I'm 65, 67, 70, and then what? I've seen so many people, I've heard so many horror stories about people who have stopped working and they die the next week or die the next month. It's just, that's not my strategy. It was before. All I was worried about was making that dollar, work. But working that hard comes with sacrifices. I mean, I worked so much that I wasn't at home, and I ended up getting divorced. So everything comes at a price. And now that I'm older, I'm realizing those things aren't that important anymore. Yes, money is important, don't get me wrong, and money helps you do a lot of things. And I'm thankful that I've had a decent career as an occupational and certified hand therapist, and I was able to put a little bit back. I'm not millionaire money, but I can go to a country in Southeast Asia, whether it be the Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, and live a very good life. So that's kind of one of my decisions too, is I've got a small circle. I don't have a lot of friends here, but I don't want to keep feeding into the system and doing the grind and paying into the tax base when I'm really not getting anything out of return, except, yes, I get safety and protection from the government and the military, which I love. Thank you. God bless you. But from just a personal lifestyle and what I want to live and accomplish, I can't do that here. But that brings me to my next thing. I started thinking about the ghost of island fever. I've mentioned before, I lived in Hawaii for a couple of years. After my divorce, I was kind of lost. I was a boat drifting in the sea without a rudder and didn't have any idea what to do. had gone on vacation to Hawaii with a good friend of mine, the same guy that keeps asking me these questions, like, and it was his 50th birthday, and went out there and fell in love with it. Who doesn't fall in love with paradise? But then when you move to a place and you start working and you get integrated in the community, all that newness goes away. And, you know, I remember driving, looking at the beach on the way to work. I didn't go to the beach for 3 months, and it was 200 yards from my house because I was too busy working. And I worry about that because, you know, Hawaiian Islands is only 8 islands. Shoot, there's over 7,000 in the Philippines. So at least I could have a bunch of islands to jump to. I guess it depends on high tide or low tide of how many there actually are, but I have that fear or that anxiety about what if I get over there and I get bored? But I have to think through it, and I was like, well, Hawaii is a little different animal. You're in the middle. It's one of the most isolated places. You're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean on these tiny, tiny islands. But if we go to the Philippines, if I get bored with the Philippines, and I've got a lot to explore there, I mean, there's a lot of places to go within those islands. I can go to Thailand. I can go to Vietnam or Japan or Taiwan or South Korea, Australia, New Zealand. There's so many places I can go. And I think about it, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't get bored there like I would in Hawaii. Because Hawaii, like I said, beautiful place, love the people, still have a lot of friends there, but it's just a very isolated place. They say either the island will accept you or chew you up and spit you out. Well, guess what? I moved back to the mainland, so there's your answer there for me. So I think I would be okay. And plus, you know, with the technology we have now, we got FaceTime and WhatsApp and everything. So if I need to talk to my sons, all I got to do is call them up. It's not the same as being there, but at least you can see them and talk to them, see their facial expressions, see if they're happy, sad. So it's a little different than making a phone call like it used to be in the dark ages. So I don't worry about that too much. And if they want to come visit, hey, they get to come visit me in paradise. So I think it would be a win-win for everybody. But yeah, that's kind of where my head's at as far as that goes. I will tell you one thing I will miss. I will miss NFL football. Now, before you start booing, I'm just talking about the experience. I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. We haven't really had anything to root for in years. And also a Clemson Tiger fan. Same scenario. But there's nothing that beats tailgating or actually being in a stadium, watching a game. I know I can stream it. I can watch it. Of course, I'm going to be watching it at 1 o'clock in the morning versus 1 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. I think I'll be watching on Monday morning at 1 p.m. But hey, I don't have to work. I'll be retired, so I'll make it work, or I can just record it and watch it at a different time. But I'll miss that. I think more than anything, that's kind of my Sunday routine. What else will I miss? I mean, food. Yeah, I mean, in the South we have some great barbecue, but in the Philippines, I've had lechon many times and I love it. So I guess I'll be okay there. I don't know. I'd be curious to see what you guys think, what you would miss the most, or what would you be most fearful about leaving behind? Because maybe I haven't really thought enough about that, but then maybe again, subconsciously I have. That's why I've kind of mentally checked out and thinking that I want a new adventure. I don't want to sit on a couch. I don't want to sit in a box that I haven't paid for, that I have to keep making payments on, the upkeep, the car, and being limited in my resources or my financial resources for what I can and can't do while living in the southeast of the United States. I just see there's so many more opportunities for travel, for cultural experiences, for learning new things versus what I know here. I mean, I've lived here for 60 years. I know the U.S. I know the ins and outs. I know what's going on. I don't know. I know what I won't miss. I know what I won't miss. The 24-hour news cycle. Oh my God. I don't know when that started. Maybe it was the Gulf War, the first one. I don't know, when you used to watch the news for 30 minutes and you got the information and that was it. Boom, bam. Now it's 24/7 panic cycle. So that's what I will not miss. I'm so tired of watching the news, and at the end, this one particular newscaster, and I'm not going to mention the network or the name, I don't want to get in trouble, but then he'll give you all this doom and gloom, and he goes, but on a positive note, 3 puppies were saved from I was like, dude, give us something positive all throughout the newscast, not just doom and gloom. I'm so sick of that. But that is what I will not miss. But it was supposed to be about what I will miss. And yeah, I guess the sports, I'm not into them like I used to. I don't want to say I won't anymore. I'm not going to say I won't anymore. I'm going to let that go. I'm sounding too negative. Just know that I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm thankful that I do have an opportunity to change my scenery. Like I said, I hope you guys will learn something from this. This was just like a little funny video for me to kind of rant and get some stuff out, or what my thought process are, or why I want to leave. But anyway, I hope you will continue to join me on this journey. I promise you I'm going to come back with some really good content as far as crunching numbers, doing due diligence and working on things to show you how to deconstruct your life here and move to wherever you want to move. And in my case, it's going to be Davao City, the Philippines, I hope. You never know, that could change in 30 months, but right now that's my plan, that's the pro forma, and that's what I'm working on. So stick with me and let's go through this journey together. And always remember, time is strong.